Okay, I want to call to order the regular board meeting of the Benton County Board of Commissioners today. Today is Tuesday, January 6, 2026, and we're at the Benton County Prosser Courthouse today. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next, if we can have a motion to approve the minutes of December 30th, 2025.
I will make a motion to go ahead and approve the meeting minutes for December 30th, 2025. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed nay. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
And he has WebEx.
Oh, he has. And review the agenda. We have nothing to add or take away, but we have two executive sessions. No new additions. Okay. With that, then, Amanda, could you play the recording for public comment?
The purpose of the public comment period is to give the audience an opportunity to provide comments to commissioners regarding agenda items or other topics. It is an official on-the-record communication geared toward giving information and opinions to consider in the decision-making process. While the commissioners welcome hearing from you, please note that the public comment period is not an opportunity for dialogue with commissioners or for posing questions with the expectation of an immediate answer. Many questions require an opportunity for information gathering and deliberation. For this reason, the commissioners will accept comments, but will not directly respond to comments, questions, or concerns raised during the public comment period. Audience members who wish to speak should raise your hand to be called upon by the chairman, or virtual participants use the raise hand feature. Come to the podium, or virtual participants unmute your microphone when called upon. State your name and address for the record. And after speaking, write your name and address on the record sheet. Virtual participants do not complete this step. To allow every participant an opportunity to be heard, public comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The chairman will indicate when your allowed time has elapsed. In the interest of running an orderly meeting, we ask that you do not duplicate comments made by a previous speaker. Instead, please simply confirm your agreement with previous statements. When appropriate, the commissioners may refer an item identified during public comments to the county administrator for further action. Please note that if a speaker intends to give commissioners any records of any kind as a part of a presentation, the records must be handed directly to the clerk of the board for distribution.
Okay, thank you. Anyone here in Prosser wishing to come before the board? Not seeing anyone. Can you see, is there anyone in Kennewick? I see some people sitting up front. I can't tell. Anyone in Kennewick wishing to address the board? Not seeing anyone moving.
It looks like they're all taking a nap.
Okay, and anyone see anyone on WebEx? Any hands raised?
Give me 1 second.
I don't see anyone.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any hands raised. Yeah, no hands raised.
No phone. No phone. Okay, with that, then we'll move on to the consent agenda, items A through R. We have a motion, please.
Sure, I do have one comment on this. I'm going to go through it real quick. It's Human Services. I see Kyle Sullivan and another person there, and I apologize. I don't remember your name, but I know you're there for Human Services as well, and I apologize about the name again. But I wanted to bring that up real quick. Human Services has been one of those things we've been working on, and it's a very good, a lot of good programs in there. One of them is, I'm just going to go ahead and pick one, Human Services. One of the agreements is item D. It's Goodwill Industries, and I just want to go ahead and just read a little bit on that before I make a motion. The summary and the background information: the Department of Social Services and Health Division of Vocational Rehabilitation contracted with Benton County Human Services Department for the School to Work program. The program emphasizes a team-based, individualized approach for students with intellectual and development disabilities to transition from school into employment. Key components include early assessment, personalized job development through community-based assessment, skill building in areas like workplace, social interaction, and ongoing support from a partnership of school districts, families, counties, and state agencies. It goes on a little bit more. The funding on this side is the funding for the services described in this agreement is provided by DSHS, Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. There is no impact on the current expense budget. These programs like this with human services, and I heard someone else speak on that from another county, and they kept on talking about VSOs for veteran services and veteran service officers. I think those are important. As a veteran, I know you're a veteran too. We're very pro that. But there's so many different things within human services that helps our community. I'm very pro these type of programs. I'm very proud of our human services manager for doing all the work they do. I'm very proud to go ahead and make these motions and stuff. But once again, these things help our community deeply and helps the impact of families and youth. And it helps people and these kids, you know, that that will go from school, maybe not to college, maybe not to the military, maybe not into a trade, but it helps everybody trying to find a skill in the future. And so with that being said, I'm going to go back from what you requested, Chair, and I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through R as in Robert. Second.
I have a motion in the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion passes. Yeah, all the human services, those are all DD, developmentally disabled contracts.
On this.
Some of that's local funding though in there, if I remember right, Kyle. Some of that's millage dollars with the veterans.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming up right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, Kyle. Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, we have of course state and local contracts, and we have the local dollars for the Veterans Assistance Fund. You know, are collected there, a part of a millage tax, and then we have local money tied to housing programs as well, and then most of the rest of the funding comes from state or federal contracts.
Okay.
You know, and real quick, do you mind if I?
No.
And Carl, and I know the last name, Winter Rose, and because I know that our kids played baseball way back in the day. But I want to go ahead and say, like I said, once again, these are good. This is a ripple effect. It affects everybody within the community. It supports everybody within the county, the cities within the county. And so I think it's a very vital thing. I know that we had a break with Franklin County there for a while. I keep on hearing about this agreement. It was an agreement that we put together to extend that to Franklin County, so these services wouldn't be interrupted. We did the right thing here in Benton County to do that, so the services wouldn't be interrupted and being felt impacted by both counties, the citizens that live in both counties, and it allowed Franklin County to go ahead and set up, Kyle, as you're aware of, their own program to get this thing done, so that these services will be continued. And like I said, I just picked one out of the blue out of the group that you were there, just wanting to describe some of the services that this supports and helps. So I appreciate both of you for showing up. I noticed both of you guys were there.
Thanks.
This allows the DD kids to not sit at home and do nothing. So it's a good program. Okay, next we have implementation of the 2026 Juvenile Court Guild Collective Bargaining Agreement. You were in Franklin County last week, weren't you? For this
I was.
contract.
Yeah, good times. So commissioners, this is a first for me in my 11 years of dealing with bi-county collective bargaining agreements and the negotiations thereof. We have a situation where we have a tentative agreement with the Juvenile Court Guild for their 2026 collective bargaining agreement. The Juvenile Court Guild has signed the agreement, the Superior Court Bench has signed the agreement, and the Benton County Board of Commissioners have signed the agreement. The Franklin County Board of Commissioners has not signed the agreement, did not schedule it for their agenda as it had been submitted for. And when I went, as you mentioned, went over there to ask in public comment, you know, if they intended to sign it, I got no response and have not received a response sent. So we can only surmise that they are not intending to sign the agreement. And so I'm here looking for direction from the board. We have 31 employees now caught in the middle of whatever conflict is going on over juvenile And so looking for some direction to the board, we have a resolution presented that would allow us to implement the terms of the collective bargaining agreement and meet our good faith bargaining obligations as we've ratified that agreement. But certainly open to discussion or any questions from the board.
Yeah, well, thank you, Carl. I certainly don't want a ULP filed against Benton County for us not doing, for us doing what we're required to do and did do. I think one comment was that Franklin County didn't even know they had joint employees.
I think the comment more was that they don't understand why they're bi-county employees, that they don't. And so that was the comment that was made by one of the commissioners at the end of their meeting.
Are they newly elected over there or something?
They a month
Fall from
ago.
a cabbage patch, what are they called?
Yeah.
Drop from the heaven and boom.
They did a month ago approve the resolutions for the bi-county non-bargaining employees 2026 wages and benefits.
Yeah.
So something changed in that period of time.
So I see we have Jeff Alton here. Jeff, would you mind coming up for a second?
As our legal counsel.
Yes. Chief Civil Attorney for Benton County. Just got a couple questions on this. I know we talked to Carly yesterday afternoon about this. I know I agree with Commissioner Dillon. I do have a couple questions on this, and I think you said one portion, which is a key portion, that they did approve a segment of that. But how does this affect us? What's your opinion? I don't mean to put you on the spot. We pass this. I know we need to pass this to do the right thing. We're always going to do the right thing, period. But how does this affect us if we approve this? And does it set us in a precedence where it shows that there are employees, because we're strictly going and approving this without the permission or without the partnership of Franklin County? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. It went through my mind as I heard talking, Carly talking about this, because this is the first I've heard of this, and that does go through my mind that we abandoning a bi-county relationship with them in such a way that it now will become our burden and exclusively our burden. And I don't know the answer to that. I don't want to give you a false sense that
it's a kicker, because we're also in litigation, and all that litigation and fallout with this going along with as we approve it, we're kind of in a weird situation on that.
Yeah,
so
it's all going to be part of the dispute that the court's going to be tasked to unravel.
I do think it's important to point out on that Franklin County did participate in the negotiation process.
Yeah, they did.
And they were part of the approval of the tentative agreement. So it's not like they didn't participate. They're just refusing to take that last step.
And this is all part of the agreement that we had starting in
Human Services.
2023, correct? Which
They've been joint employees for longer.
yeah. And so I look at it as, I know that what the conflict is you have a contract, you sign a contract, you have been paying on it for the last couple of years, and now you want to default. In my opinion, my personal opinion, you're defaulting on the contract, which will have to be shown in court. But like I said, these are the things that affect employees, that represents, and they felt like they were representing Benton and Franklin County. And so it's a shame that that they're in that situation, and coming into a new year, because this affects their families and the stress at work too. So it's unfortunate, but I wanted to ask you that because it's a weird situation that we're kind of in with that. And I didn't know if you would give us an answer, but I would say you couldn't.
I can't at this point.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Nope, that's okay.
We have an awesome attorney here. So with that being said, I'll ready to make a motion if you guys.
What does the resolution basically say?
The resolution is saying that we will implement the collective bargaining agreement as approved by the Board of Benton County Commissioners and as negotiated, which reflects the tentative agreement that we all came to at the bargaining table.
Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of problems. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Move to approve the resolution authorizing the implementation of the terms of the 2026 Juvenile Court Guild Collective Bargaining Agreement.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say the ayes have it. The motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
2026 board organization discussion. You want to lead it or you want?
At least get it started and then, so this is part of our annual check on, the various assignments to committees and boards that each of you gentlemen have. And then there obviously are certain roles as county engineer and purchasing agent and things like that that are on that list that we publish about who's assigned to what. As far as the staff side goes, we don't have any changes on that, but I know I've heard some discussion individually from each board member about interest in maybe changing the boards and committees that they're on. And obviously we would take this opportunity also to change the chairman. I'm not sure there's a debate on that piece, but I know there's a few interest in maybe changing some board roles around. And so I thought we'd have a discussion here amongst the three board members, come to a conclusion, and then place the final list on consent agenda for next week.
You know, it makes me nervous when I have Commissioner Delvin to my right, as I never know what he's going to think or say on this one.
He does want to get rid of the library.
One that I wouldn't mind doing.
I hear they're gonna start meeting weekly.
That's what I'm saying. One that, Commissioner McKay, one that I'd like to take, if you want to do that, I'll even swap with you. I don't know if you're going to swap though. One is, I wouldn't mind taking, I was on that when I was at the city of Richland as a city councilman, I believe, and as a mayor, was the Tri-State Regional Chamber of Commerce, ex officio. If you want to keep that one, or you want to?
You can take it. Yeah.
Cool. I like it. I wanted us as a county way back when I first got in. I talked to staff and I thought it was important that we have taken more of an active role so that the county and all the community leaders and business leaders know what we actually do and all the hard work that everybody provides here within the county. So I'll be glad to do that. I appreciate that. Now I got a question for you. You gave it to me and I appreciate that, but I want to see if you want to take it back. And it's good either way. How about the COG?
The what one?
Benton Franklin,
Council of
governments. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you got all those things on the list.
No, I don't want to switch that one.
Okay,
The alternate still.
okay.
You did want, I heard you didn't, Commissioner Kay, you didn't want the HAFIC, or which one of those, or one of those?
Yeah,
The Hanford Area Economic Investment Fund Committee.
Or is it the Columbia Regional Economic Development Trust? Which are two separate things?
so I've never been on the Columbia Regional Economic Development Trust. I don't know what that one is.
I don't remember hearing that either.
Yeah, I'm not on that either.
Yeah, so if I can get off that one, that'd be great.
But you're on Hanford,
Community,
yeah, so that would be a complimentary to that one.
you think so?
I think so.
The Columbia Regional or the HAFIC?
The
The HAFIC, okay, I can take that one then.
You want the COG?
No, I'll take the HAFIC.
I have nothing to trade. It's all good.
HAFIC. Anything else, Will, you want to pick up or leave off, or what else we got?
I'm good. What you guys want to do?
The Health District, you want to stay on that?
Yeah, stay on that, yeah.
Okay.
And the transit too.
You want the transit to
Yeah.
stay on that?
You got it.
Okay, so there's the Benton Franklin Revolving Loan Fund. Is that different from the
I think
HAFIC?
that one's winding down.
Oh, that is?
Yeah. So I don't know
Oh,
that there's
okay.
a lot of activity other than some currently outstanding loans.
You know, I go to the West Richland Chamber, as ex officio, but I think they're getting rid of their ex officio.
What, really?
They kicked us out of the meeting last time, all the ex officios. I don't know what they're up to. I haven't heard anything from them.
I can find out.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Okay,
So just those two changes, then the
looks like it.
Tri-State Chamber of Commerce and the HAFIC Board.
Looks like it, yes.
And then we would have Commissioner Alvarez would be chairman.
Yeah.
Everyone's still in agreement with that.
And Okay, is
How about,
Tim?
how about,
Commissioner McKay
you
with the pro tem.
Yeah.
gonna be pro tem?
Okay,
Okay,
that's all. We'll have the clerk update the agenda and or the list, and it'll be on the consent agenda for next week.
We did that really fast.
Yep.
okay, other business, Commissioner McKay,
Not good.
Commissioner Alvarez. you
Well,
said
actually,
you-
I do have
Well,
other.
go ahead.
One thing, I don't know, I didn't talk to you guys about it or any of the staff, but Amanda McKinney, Yakima commissioner, met her husband, her and her husband and my wife when we first were getting elected in 2020.
Mhm.
We met and my wife and I and that couple, but with Amanda working with her on the Wasatch board, she's running for Congress. And
Yeah,
she contacted me
she left
yesterday.
me a message yesterday.
Oh, she bugged you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, I told her to, like, she's got my support because she's a good conservative person. I think she would do a good job at Congress. And I told her also too to reach out to the Benton County Republican Party to kind of get their support as well. But have you guys reached back out to her then?
No, I haven't yet.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna-
so
I'm
I'd
gonna
reach out
I'm gonna hang loose for a while.
Okay. Yeah, I would, just long story short, I mean, do you guys agree? I mean, I think she would do a great job in Congress because I haven't seen one issue that she's done on the Wasatch board or as a county commissioner in Yakima.
There's one thing out there on this, the upfront that, apparently the USA,
Turning Point USA.
Turning Point USA event, there's a YouTube video out there that was forwarded to me about her, because I know she supported Newhouse last election. She did the ad, but now she's saying she never did, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've mentioned that to her too,
And
and she's like, nah. Yeah, she doesn't agree with that.
with what?
Well, she wasn't like 100% supportive of Dan, but I mean, she still kind of was.
Yeah, she wasn't, yeah, I don't know, it just seemed odd to me, so, no, I haven't, I'll call her back in a
Yeah.
day or two.
Well, she also said too that she met Trump in DC a couple times as well.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, that's awesome.
well, I've been there, speeches, yeah, oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I need to watch that YouTube video. But,
All right. Good to go?
yeah,
Okay, good to go?
Yeah.
All right. So maybe next Tuesday, when we have our commissioner meeting, we might want to, might
we're
be,
in Kennewick.
or in Kennewick, that we may want to discuss a little bit more. There's some concerns I have in reference to the recovery center that was addressed. I know our deputy county administrator had some conversation with one of the county commissioners on there. Looks like they're putting on a pause for some funding potentially for betterments. So we need to look at the contract on that. I think it's based off takedowns for certain completions of certain projects to be done. We need a little bit more information on that. That's concerning to me a little bit because that was based on certain items and stuff. And I know funding and where the budget is and those type of things. But when I hear when the Benton Franklin Recovery Coalition gets together this last time, there's a lot of information that's being provided through those items or through that. And did anybody from Franklin County come to those that time that you can recall?
So no, it was the advisor. Sorry, I misheard you this morning. It was actually the advisory, the
Yes.
Benton Franklin Advisory Committee.
Yeah,
which
I
is
stand
slightly
corrected.
different than the Recovery Coalition.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
Yeah, they had asked for some information about the costs to the counties. And so originally they asked for a pro forma evaluation to be done. The advisory committee asked Brian Danzel, their county administrator, for more specifics. They weren't particularly excited about doing a full pro forma. The primary reason was they felt like comprehensive healthcare had provided a pretty good proposal that had a lot of detail in it, and we just really needed to update the numbers based on the new FTE counts. The services and things aren't changing since the original proposal. And so comprehensive was there this was in the November meeting.
Yeah.
And comprehensive was there, and they agreed to come back at the December meeting and present the costs, what they anticipated the costs to the counties could look like. I mean, obviously they're estimating based on other operations they have. They don't
Yep.
really know. But they gave us a high, medium, and low range based on occupancy levels and based on payer, what they call payers, which is basically people who have insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance who'd be able to pay for services. They use the numbers that they currently see in Yakima. They figure the demographics are similar and we should see similar occupancy rates and similar payer rates. And so they presented those numbers at the December meeting, which they told Brian Danzel at the November meeting that they would have that available. but no representatives from the commissioner's office attended. They do have their representatives on the advisory committee. Each county has 7. Plus there are some technical advisors, so their district court and things, they had their people there too. So that information was presented, but there were no commissioners in it.
So, but they put it on pause anyway.
They put it on pause anyway.
All right, so that concerns me because that's still a financial commitment. Benton County Emergency Services, I'm the co-chair on that. I know Matt, you and myself go on that. That's our 911 emergency services, and we're spending millions of dollars between what they call the Big Five, which is Benton County, Franklin County, Pasco, Kennewick, and Richland.
Correct.
Significant amount of resources going in that project. And we're not the only ones. The whole country and their 911 services and et cetera are everybody's redoing and updating their systems, and it's very costly. I know that there's members on that board that are very concerned with one particular entity because we all have a financial wherewithal to do this, and we have a commitment to do this. It'll be a great regional for public safety, but I have concerns because one of the project managers brought up on our last meeting that they were concerned that a commissioner brought up about potentially using Starlink. Starlink during bad weather may not be efficient enough to go ahead and do the project or 911 services and the call volume. And so I want to make sure that we discuss that a little bit because the majority of the funding will be going to Franklin County for microwave towers, et cetera.
So yeah, we've had multiple projects here. One of them was microwave towers. That one's actually complete.
Yeah.
And so now we're talking about the 800 megahertz radio system. In Franklin County, only the city of Pasco and maybe a few miles north of that have the 800 megahertz service. Everybody in North Franklin County still runs on the old VHF system. And that's getting very hard to find replacement parts for and upgrades for. And so the project that we're talking about now expands the 800 network. It replaces our 800 network because it's 20 plus years old and it needs to be upgraded and replaced, but it expands that network into North Franklin County. And so we're talking about a close to $30 million project that the 5 agencies you mentioned collectively are paying a little over $6 million a piece for. But a significant amount of that goes into the 9+ new radio towers that are required in North Franklin County. And so it is very concerning to hear comments like that coming from them suggesting that this project isn't worth it. It's going to be outdated before it's done, and we could do it cheaper using a satellite-based radio system. And I grew up on satellite TV and satellite everything. If it's cloudy, it doesn't work well. It may work great for low-level communications for farming and construction activities and things like that. But if you have a major emergency event out there and we have dozens of emergency responders, is it going to be able to handle it? Is it going to work the day we need it to? And for any people don't think about this, and there's only so many internet trunk lines that come into this area. And Starlink relies on ground-based internet. It doesn't transmit from your car to a satellite to another car. It transmits from your car to a satellite to a ground-based internet to something and back. And so if we were to lose ground-based internet here without that 800 megahertz system, we would have no communication. And so that's very concerning, and that's a very real possibility.
And that's what was brought up. Some of those concerns were brought up in the last meeting on that. And like I said, so we're going to do a significant amount of funding for that project, and a lot of that goes to a neighboring county. I want to make sure that they have the financial wherewithal that, actually is the amount of funding that's going to be necessary in the first year. Is it within their budget? Second, do they have the financial wherewithal and where that money's going to come from for the years after that to go ahead and help support and pay for that? I don't feel that it's our responsibility. I can't do that. It's not in my DNA, and it's not my job description. It's not for me to do. I have to represent the county and the cities within the county that we represent. And by golly, if we spend millions of dollars in taxpayers' money and it goes to another neighboring county and they default on it, then they got a free system, and that would be tax dollars here that can go to other programs and support here for our employees, for our taxpayers, et cetera. So it's kind of a concerning thing. I'm going to bring that up in our next BCS meeting. And I want to know the financials and make sure we have the wherewithal.
Did they commit to
They did. So there's an interlocal agreement between the 5 big agencies committing to that capital expenditure. City of Richland on that agreement took out a loan for that. And so we're all paying debt service basically to the city, who is then paying it to Motorola, who gave us the loan. And so, yeah, if one agency were to default, that falls to the city of Richland ultimately, but I think they would expect that the other partners in that would pick that up. And so it's a concern I share with Commissioner Alvarez, is if they are concerned about their commitment and the cost of that, then we need to know the answer today so that we can reorient the project and not pay for those expensive things that otherwise don't benefit the other 5 agencies.
Well, I mean, why would they, but I try to understand what goes, maybe something's in the water, I don't know, but I mean, why would they commit and now come back?
I don't think they've said that they were
They haven't
going
said it.
to, but the comments and based on our other interactions with them just raises the concern.
It's making all the other
When's the next
agencies,
meeting?
I think the 3rd week of, it's coming in a couple weeks.
I think the
That's
next
right.
BCS meeting is,
So the 20th something, right? 23rd, I don't know. It's that week of the
So-
20th.
My calendar will open here.
So it does concern me. I want to make sure we have,
Oh, yeah.
our partners have the financial wherewithal to go ahead and support the project.
Yeah, the 22nd is the BCS.
That's somewhere on there. The other one is juvenile detention center, that's one that you asked why. That's why the finance, what we're doing with the juvenile detention center and those costs and that contract. And the other one is the Benton Franklin Health District. I know Commissioner McKay and myself have been on there. That's also concerning because we've had a hard time with our fellow commissioners on their neighboring county to be at some of those meetings. Also, we're trying to go ahead and keep it in the black and not in the red, because we put it in the red, that means services will be cut. That means those individuals and those people will seek, treatment elsewhere in emergency rooms, which is a trickle-down effect. It makes our emergency rooms much longer. It affects our health insurance premiums, et cetera. And so hopefully we all get on board and we have, I know the last meeting was, I think both of us were there, including all the other board members, and I know Franklin County was not present. So hopefully we can all get together, work as a team, and make sure that we're doing the right thing for both counties on that one. But those are some of my concerns. We just have to keep an eye on that. I know Jeff is doing a great job as far as what we need to do as far as the juvenile detention center in his office. But like I said, I'd like to bring this up because we have a lot of different projects on that, from the BCS, juvenile detention, the health district. And so just concerning that we're going into our budget cycle coming in. We want to make sure that we do right, that we provide all the services top grade to who we represent, and we're being very financially responsible for our money.
Back to the recovery center, Benton County signed the agreement, comprehensive.
So we have not entered into an operational agreement
Yeah,
yet.
okay.
We're working on that. We'll be bringing a agreement for startup costs. So effectively, we're gonna help pay for wages and things while it's not opening, so they can get training and everything going on there. And then we'll have a separate operating agreement. I mean, and I know it sounds like we're gonna,
That Benton County is entering. into
it will
that.
be Benton County's agreement with comprehensive. Originally, the intention was that we would look at an interlocal agreement between the 2 counties, but I think that's something that we ought to discuss. And if we want to do that next week, I think we can prepare.
Yeah, we should. I mean, because that place is gonna open in a couple months. It
Yep.
should, I mean, Franklin County's got to account for their
And I
citizens
definitely,
coming over and getting.
yeah, and there are avenues to be able to do that. I think without getting too deep into the weeds, because we'll discuss next week, but regardless of whether or not the 2 counties have an agreement to share the operating costs, the facility will still serve Franklin County residents who have an ability to pay. And really what we're talking about is the people who
Right.
don't have an ability to pay. So there are impacts if that doesn't happen.
Well,
And
that's
they
why-
could potentially negotiate their own agreement
If
with comprehensive healthcare.
with an if, there's a but in there. We can talk about that.
And so yeah, I think it's worthwhile for this board to have a discussion about what the future of that looks like, because we are, only a few months away from opening, and it's going to be, and I can discuss it pretty detailed on
Okay.
Tuesday next week. But we were happy, the advisory committee was happy to see the numbers that comprehensive presented. It looks like that there's a better than not chance that the cost of this facility will be relatively low. They'll be able to recover the bulk of that cost from other payers, which is what I expected based on the
Right.
facilities Commissioner Delvin and I have
Yep.
gone and visited and the people we've talked to. We expected that that would be the case, and Comprehensive confirmed that in the December meeting, is that the worst case scenario we could still afford. The best case scenario, we shouldn't be paying much, if anything.
And like I said, that's my biggest thing as we're going into a new biannual budget cycle. We've worked our tails off. Every department, every finance manager, every elected official, and we all work together to keep us on a balanced budget, increasing services and not laying anybody off. We have a lot of challenges going on here, and I want to make sure that we're covering it, crossing our T's and dotting our I's. We can continue that even through some potential economic challenges. And so that's why I wanted to bring this up, because
No, and I appreciate that. I mean, you know, we took the vote on the 1/10 mental health tax to pay, and they have a 1/10 over there.
They
They have
do.
the funds to pay for the operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I'm happy I'll pull together
Okay.
information and we can have a good discussion about it next week.
Okay.
Commissioner Dell, can I say
yes,
real
go
quick
ahead.
with that too? I just hope that we can stay together with Benton and Franklin in the health district. Because I know that they want to separate and do health district over in Franklin County, to where let's stay together, guys, because it'll be cheaper where it's Benton Franklin Health District, not Benton Health District and Franklin Health District. To where, like, I'm hoping we can work it out with Franklin County to keep it to where we're all together, because it's gonna save money on the counties to stay together on a lot of stuff. And also like the Juvenile Justice Center as well, staying together instead of separating. And one last little thing, I forgot, Amanda McKinney, it was, she did support Dan Newhouse,
Yeah,
but it was Jared Sessler that she doesn't support. And I'm like, that makes sense, because he's never been voted in for how many times he's been trying to be reelected,
yeah,
or to be elected, I mean.
right,
So
okay. Josie, anything? Mr. Spencer, anything from, was there anyone in Kennewick, any other electeds in Kennewick? Can't see. Doesn't look like it, eh? Huh?
Yes, yeah, the assessor. is there.
Oh, the assessor, do you have anything? No?
the young Spencer is
Okay.
the old Spencer was taking
He
a nap.
he raised his hand to you. I don't know. I couldn't see anything else besides the hand though.
Yeah, the old
Was there
Spencer,
any-
the old Spencer's taking a nap back there, but the young Spencer's awake, so he's not taking a nap.
Okay. Okay, now we have, are we gonna combine these executive sessions? We're gonna combine them. So we got two potential litigation executive sessions.
One's pending, one's potential.
Oh, yeah, there is. They'll start with P.
For 5 hours.
15
No.
minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes, we're going to be in executive session for potential litigation and pending litigation. We'll go at 9:38. Out of the executive session, no decisions were made. Anybody got anything?
Yeah, can I make a motion?
Sure.
Okay, I move to approve the separation agreement with Stephanie Massart to be paid out of budgeted Superior Court funds.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
Next one, I move to approve the settlement agreement with Ivan Hernandez to be paid out of budgeted Sheriff's Office funds.
Second.
Motion and the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, both of those motion passes. Anything else coming from the board for the good of the order? Anything? Okay, with that, meeting adjourned. Enjoy the rest of the day and the week.